I'm making this chair from 4.5-inch cedar decking, and the best way I can describe the style is an upright Adirondack, uh, kind of, because it's more of a lounging type of chair, but it's very upright. You're not falling down into the ground to sit in it. Now I'm first cutting out two pieces at 5 feet. These are going to be for the back, so I'm adding a 15-degree angle to these. The seat and back are going to have a 10-degree difference, but the seat is also going to have 5 degrees leaning back, so that's where the 15 comes from. But moving on, I cut 4 pieces at 30 inches. These are going to be for the feet of the two legs. And I just cut the corners on these for aesthetics, so that totally could be skipped. Next, I cut 2 pieces at 19 inches, which are going to be the front legs of the chair. And what I mentioned before, these have to have a 5-degree cut. This is so the whole seat leans back 5 degrees. Next, I cut 8 pieces at 22 inches. These are going to be for supports and then also armrests. And I'm adding 10-degree cuts on these just so they run parallel with the seat. And I am also cutting the opposite corner of the 10-degree angle at 45 for aesthetics, but again, that could be skipped just like the other corner cuts. Moving on to assembly, I'm using a 15-gauge nail gun because it's fun. Screws are probably better, but I just like using nail guns. And what I'm doing is starting with the 30-inch foot and the 19-inch leg. Now the leg, the 5-degree angle is on the bottom, so the leg is leaning towards the back slightly. I am using screws occasionally, just 1 screw per joint just to help hold the boards together, because the nails are strong enough but they don't offer the pull strength. I just hate driving tons of screws. But next I move on to adding the 22-inch support piece. This is going to be at the top of the front leg, and from here you get a better picture on how the front is leaning back for the seat. Next I add the 5-foot back piece, and this is leaning back with that 15-degree angle, but because the 10-degree angle cut on the support piece, it should be flush on the back of the support piece and the 5-foot leg. I then add the armrest. What I'm doing is taking a support piece and I'm just spacing it 5.5 inches above the support piece for the seat. Now you could add the armrest at the end if you wanted to. I decided to try adding it now, and that did kind of get in the way when I was adding planks, so this can be added whenever you want. But what I'm doing here is taking another support piece and just capping off the armrest, just so there's a wider surface to put your arm on or a drink. Now I'm taking duplicate pieces and sandwiching everything for additional support. So first adding another 30-inch piece on the bottom and then moving on to the support piece. Now maybe you could get away without adding these. I just like it because it really makes everything feel a lot stronger. With 2 of these built, it should be enough for a chair, but if you wanted to make a bench, you could make additional just ditching the armrest, and that could be middle supports. But moving on to the seat, I'm cutting 4 pieces at 22 inches, and all I'm doing here is nailing them across the 2 pieces. And I am spacing everything apart by an 1/8 inch, just to leave room for water drainage, and then also expansion and contraction of the wood. Now, something you might notice here is it's a little wobbly, but don't freak out because a lot of the strength added is having both the seat and the back slats installed. So for adding the back slats, I cut out 9 pieces at 19 7/8. In a perfect world, it would be 20 inches, but it's good to leave a little bit of extra room so there's room to have the armrests flush. After adding all the slats to the seat and the back, I decided last minute to add some extra support to the armrests just so they could handle more weight being pushed down on them. But after I added these, I was all done.